I have reviewed all the laptop brands on this channel but have never got the opportunity to review any MSI laptop up until now, and finally I have got my hands on the MSI BRAVO, which is the most popular super budget friendly gaming laptop with some decent specifications and good performance. So let's find out in this video, is it worth buying the MSI BRAVO? Starting off with some general specifications, it comes packed with Ryzen 5 7525HS with 6 cores and 12 threads with a maximum clock speed of 4.5 GHz, NVIDIA RTX 2050 with 4GB of GDDR6 VRAM and a maximum TDP of 70 watts, a 16GB DDR5 RAM clocked at 4800 MHz which comes in dual channel, and a 512GB Gen 4 NVMe. Now let's talk about the build and design of this laptop. This laptop has a polycarbonate body all over which feels quite decent, an eagle design with a red eye that doesn't light up, and MSI brought back the cool grooves design on the top lid which looks just like a sports car hood. It has narrow side bezels but a big chin and a forehead which is typical in this price segment of laptops. It has one of the best polycarbonate bodies with no keyboard flicks and no top lid flicks, but it does have a lot of screen wobble, so much so that it reminds me of the old HP laptop. It can easily be opened with one hand and the screen goes back to full 180 degrees for sharing. It has dimensions of 14.13 inches by 10.2 inches by 0.98 inches and weighs around 2.25 kgs, which makes it very easy to carry around. It has dual fan system with 6 heat pipes, which is also visible from the big air intake vent on the bottom. It has one air exhaust vent on the back side and one air exhaust vent on the left side. It has a full-sized keyboard with 4 zones of RGB backlight whose effects can be cycled through the MSI software. It has a gamerly font on the keys, which is not a personal favorite of mine but still very readable. It has a very small numpad which looks like squished into the keyboard, which with its weird horizontal enter key and plus and minus keys on the top is not very comfortable to use. It has transparent WASD keys and arrow keys which have big arrows artistically made instead of the typical arrow keys. It has a power button on the top right which has to be pressed for about 2 seconds to function, so no chance of accidental presses. It has a very odd placement of the function key which is super confusing and very uncomfortable to use initially, but it can be swapped with the left Windows keys in the MSI software. The keyboard has a lot of shortcut functions like function +8 to control the RGB brightness. The effects however need to be cycled through the MSI software. Function and left arrow key to play and pause music, function plus up arrow key to control the fan speed, and function plus down arrow key to spawn a crosshair on the screen, which provides a competitive edge in esport games that do not have a crosshair. Pretty unique and a neat feature. It has a very small fully clickable trackpad which reminds me of Dell G15's trackpad that I reviewed. Talking about the other features, it has a mux switch, it has Wi-Fi 6 and Bluetooth 5.3, it has a 53.2 watt-hour battery which gives 6 hours of regular usage and 1.5 hours of gaming, which is possible for a 53 watt-hour battery because of its AMD GPU. It has a good 720p webcam, it has 2 down-firing speakers with dynamic audio support which provide a good sound and ample clarity and good bass. Here is how it sounds. And it comes with a 180 watt charger. Talking about the screen, it has a 15.6 inch IPS anti-glare panel with a native resolution of 1920 by 1080p and an aspect ratio of 16:9. It has an average color gamut of 45% NTSC and a good contrast ratio of 1480:1. It has a refresh rate of 144 Hz and a screen response time of 19 milliseconds, so not too good for esport games. It has a peak brightness of 300 nits which feels average, not too dim and not too bright. Overall, it has an okay screen for a laptop at this price. Talking about the ports, it has in total 3 USB Type A ports and 1 USB Type C port. Starting from the left, it has one audio mic combo jack, one USB Type A 3.2 Gen 1 port, one USB Type C 3.2 Gen 2 port which also supports display of up to 4K 60Hz, one HDMI 2.1 port which supports display of up to 8K 60Hz, and one RJ45 Ethernet port. On the right side, it has one power input pin, one USB Type A 3.2 Gen 1 port, and one USB Type A 2.0 port. Port situation in this laptop is not too good as it does offer 3 USB Type A ports, but one of them is still USB 2.0, so lower transfer speeds, but still can be used to connect peripherals. It has no ports on the back side, which means a failed opportunity to provide a cleaner setup, and moreover the majority of the ports lie on the right side, so it may come in the way of right-handed users. Talking about the upgradability, it provides decent upgrade options, giving 2 RAM slots for 16GB DDR5 RAM each, giving it a total of 32GB, 2 NVMe Gen 4 SSD slots with a maximum capacity of 1 TB each, and and one upgradable M.2 Wi-Fi and Bluetooth card. Now let's take a look at the performance of this laptop, with Cinebench R23 scoring 9345 in multi-core and 3090 in single-core performance, Geekbench scoring 6555 in multi-core and 7090 in single-core performance, and 3D Mark TimeSpy scored 4150 in overall, 3976 in GPU and 6260 in CPU score. These scores are good enough to handle tasks like medium-level gaming, streaming, coding, 4K level editing with a few hiccups, and creative workload. However, it is not too good for 3D modeling, machine learning, and hardcore gaming due to its relatively weak GPU. I tested some usual AAA titles and esport titles on this machine, and here are the test conditions for the same. As you can see, the laptop gave quite decent FPS in all these AAA titles, including Cyberpunk and RDR2. For an RTX 2050, these scores are pretty well for my liking. The temperatures were also above average, with no instance of crossing 90 degrees in any game. Talking about the software support, the software provides a lot of options like custom fan speeds, GPU overclock, mux switch, performance modes, and RGB control. Talking about the price, it is available online for 54,000 at the time of making this video, but this laptop is available at Creative Laptop's exclusive MSI store in Ludhiana, which is one of its kind in Punjab, and they offer really great deals on the MSI laptops at very competitive prices as compared to even the online channels. So do check them out before you buy. Contact details are in the description. So in conclusion, I would like to say that this laptop has a good price to performance ratio, giving great performance at the price it comes in, a good build but with a lot of screen wobble, good features for the price it comes in with a 4-zone of RGB keyboard, a decent screen, and it also has a mux switch. All in all, it is a great choice for people who have a budget of about 50k for a gaming laptop. If you liked the review, please like the video, dislike if you didn't, tell me about it in the comment section, and consider subscribing for more videos like this.